Welcome to our next Winners Wednesday episode. I'm very, very excited to welcome my good friend, Miss Alysia Cook. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys? I guess you guys are in Israel. So
we are. We come back next week. So whew.
I think it's exciting that we're getting to talk and you're halfway around the world from me.
I know, it's crazy, right? I mean, so much you can do with an internet connection these days.
Absolutely.
Although I do have to sit right next to the router here because, you know, if you kind of go, it's concrete walls. So if I move too much, the connection may not be as strong.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm really excited today. Alysia, obviously, we've known each other for several years. I don't know, what, 3 years, maybe more, actually. Time flies. I can't keep up.
Right.
But you've got such a diverse background. So I'm really excited to kind of share that with the audience today. And so with that said, do you mind just kind of giving us a brief overview of, you know, your background, how long you've been into real estate, et cetera?
Well, my name's Alysia Cook. I'm right here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I have been doing real estate, I think I'm at 7.5, almost 8 years. Yeah, I think so. If I do the math properly. Formerly a vet tech in the veterinary world. So quite a vast difference of selling houses and working with animals all day. But it's exciting.
So that I'm going to have to ask how you made that transition, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
A crazy.
So well, let's go ahead and dive into it. How did you go from a vet tech to the real estate? I mean, what attracted you to real estate?
I think I've always been attracted to real estate. I mean, I think I was always intimidated, to be really honest with you, about realtors. You know, that was glamorous. And the job is glamorous sometimes, not all the time. My husband actually was really into wanting to flip houses and get into the industry. We built our first house before I got into real estate. That was super exciting. We actually got along during the whole entire process. And then we're still married, right? At the end of that. And then I think the real shift for me came when he was still in oil and gas at the time, you know, before all the markets shifted. Oil and gas kind of took a huge hit. Needed to figure out something different.
Right.
And we just weren't being able to spend any time together. You know, me at the office all day. You know, my hours are pretty set. I really had no freedom to go do the things I wanted to do or needed to do at the time, even though I loved veterinary medicine. You know, I still do. I have dogs, I have horses, all the stuff. But then what actually really was the catalyst for me is I had 2 babies within 11 months of each other. And again, talking about needing to have a job where, you know, I could have some flexibility in my schedule and kind of do the things I wanted to do with kids and my husband. We needed to sell our house at that time. And so we interviewed a bunch of realtors, and I actually had of all things, I had a nanny cam actually out on my little it was out in the open. I mean, it wasn't like it was in camera at all, but I used to drive around my neighborhood with my 2 kids, you know, waiting for showings to happen and watching these showings. And I'm like, man, if these people could do this, I could do this. And so really I found a mentor in real estate, and I actually joined a team when I first joined up. And I learned a lot. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know, you mentioned like you and your husband working together, and that's one of the things I really want to highlight here, because you guys also do real estate investing, you know, where you flip houses, and now you're into bigger and better projects as well. And I mean, you're some of the most talented people that I've ever seen when it comes to flips. And we know a lot of real estate investors, right? So, I mean, what has kind of been the secret to your success? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of agents out there that would love to, you know, get into the investing world with their spouse as well.
To be perfectly honest, I stay out of his way. You know, a lot of people think I design and I do all those things for houses. I don't. Those are really his ideas. He's really big into picking out things for houses, and then I just kind of come in at the end and say if I like it or not. Typically, when I pick something for a house, I pick something way out of the budget, and that won't just won't work for him to make any money at
Right.
all. I just think
So he's looking at the numbers.
he's looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the pretty things at the end of the day. But I kind of stay out of his way. I kind of let him do his thing. And I think it's been important for him to have his own identity within real estate investing. And then we just kind of, but we both also have the exact same design styles. So I think that works for us, that we both like the same things. So I think that's what really works for us.
Is that something that you had before, or you've kind of acquired it?
I think
what was that?
I think everything, it's always been the same way. It's never been any different. Yeah,
really,
we've always been kind of like right there along the way. But I have to say that
I love that, and well, I think you really brought up something that's really important. Like you said, you stay out of his own way, and that's something that Hamoudi and I've always done. Is we know what my strengths are, and we know what his strengths are, and then we don't overlap. We just let each other do their job. And a lot of times our egos get in the way, right? And we want our hands in everything, and that's sometimes where we can mess up. So I actually think that's really important that you mentioned that. So obviously very successful real estate investor, also very successful real estate agent. You've hit icon with the XP, which is one of the highest awards, or the highest award that you can get, 2 years in a row. I mean, what has been the key to your success? I mean, going from being in the animal realm to real estate, completely opposite industries. What do you attribute your success to?
Really just, my love language is serving others. I mean, I also love receiving gifts, but serving others is a huge thing for me. I really get it from my mom. My mom is a huge person who loves serving others. And so it makes me happy. I love helping people, sell their biggest assets, buying their biggest assets. So it makes my day go around, to be really honest. As far as being successful, I mean, just being a good person, being honest with people, being there for them, when they most need it. And I tell all my clients the same thing. I say, I want to be able to go to sleep at night and sleep well.
Right.
And I think it's important just to,
I couldn't even
be nice to people and be kind, and everyone's fighting a battle you don't know about. And so I think it's kind of come naturally that I've just been able to be, I haven't been like a run and gun agent. It's not my personal style. But a lot of people just kind of gravitate towards me, and I kind of gravitate towards people. I have funky hair colors, and I'd always worried about, would people really want to work with me? If I have a weird hairstyle, or, I have a tattoo or stuff like that. But, there's something for everyone in the business. And I think if you really want to go after it and you're consistent, you can be successful in this business.
You sport it well. I mean, I'm not sure I could do the pink, but you sport it extremely well. I love it. So it's awesome. And so, again, you guys are just such a vibrant couple, right? I mean, when you look at your real estate business or your investing, I mean, you're just such a vibrant couple. And then I know that you're really involved with your family as well and your boys. As a mom, and I know I'm getting a little bit off track of our questions here, but how do you balance being a mom, an entrepreneur, an investor, and then running all over the country to your kids' basketball games?
I would say it's been tough for me. I used to be a huge numbers person, and I used to chase that. I felt like I chased awards. I chased, I had to sell more, do this, do that. I had to, and we just kind of talked about this, that comparison is the thief of joy. And I felt like I was constantly comparing. And then my kids actually have said it numerous times at dinner, mom's always on her phone. All mom cares about is her phone. And talking to other people. And it kind of was just like a light bulb for me. I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep taking from my family for other people. So I'll be honest with you, it's been really hard to kind of take that step back. But again, my business has still been successful. I've been able to travel and have a good time with my family. I put on my phone a lot now, which has been hard. That's probably been the hardest thing for me ever. It's just, knowing that my family is more important, and, that phone call and stuff like that can wait. I will always get to it, but it can wait. I feel like I'm never
Right.
on that.
Yeah, but
100%.
rarely is there. Well, here's the night. This is actually what we do at dinner because we had the same issue, right? And so we start turning our phones on silent, and then we put them face down in the middle of the dinner table, and we call it the no phone rule. So because what we found is if one of us picks up our phone, then all four of us are picking up our phone, right? So it's like a ripple effect. Yeah, it's like you can almost bet on it, right?
It's so true, and like.
So
I had this rule the other night. We did the same thing actually. No phones. We're gonna sit here at dinner, and like we're sitting here and we're having a little bit of conversation, and then it's just like I get a notification, and like I immediately gravitate toward the phone, and oh my gosh, it's like a hot potato. You just got you gotta like push it away from you. So,
yeah. Well, like I said, once you do it and everybody else, it's a ripple effect. So yeah, it's important to put your phone face down,
literally,
so you don't see those notifications.
Right.
So we implemented that, I want to say a couple years ago, and it's been great, especially for dinner time. So well, great. And I really
you can be successful in this business.
Yeah. And I really appreciate the transparency because it is hard. You have to find that balance, right? You want to be a full service agent and be there for your clients, but you also want to be a mom and need to be a mom, right? So, but the good thing about this industry is very rarely is there really a true emergency that can't wait 1 hour, right?
Absolutely.
For you to get back to them. So, and for anybody that's watching this, if you have any questions for Alysia, go ahead and comment below. We'll try to get to them. But so my next question, I mean, I know that, at some points you have built a team. At what point have you in your career, have you leveraged and started bringing on other agents to help you in your production?
I just started a team, I believe it was like a year ago. And it's really been kind of trial by fire. I brought a couple people on immediately and didn't think that through. I've actually gone through a couple of people that both are still in the business. I think one's on another team, and I think the other one's a solo agent. Mm-hmm. And so then I have a new, actually, she was a former client of mine, but she has really been consistently on me about wanting to get into real estate. And I kind of like that. That's kind of how I am when I do business and when I used to train other vet techs or front office staff for hospitals. I like those go-getters, those self-motivators that, you don't have to like kind of drag along with you. And right. She's been every bit of that. She has been a self-motivator. I love it. She's a go-getter. She doesn't mind talking to people. So, and it's hard for me to let go. I didn't realize I was quite as bad as I am, delegating and letting go of things.
Right.
That you're used to doing. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one that can do this, knowing full well that other people can too.
Right.
So that I'm still working on that. That's one of my biggest weaknesses. But she's been a rock star so far, and I kind of want to keep a small team. I don't want anything big. The first team I came to in real estate was actually a partnership. It was two women that I love their partnership. I think it's fantastic, to be honest with you. And I would love that in this business.
Right.
For me to kind of fall back to. I mean, I have some really, really close friends in this business, and we've kind of all talked about it and kind of been powwowing about it. But I want to keep it kind of small. I admire those mega teams. I think it's fascinating, and I think it's great. And I'm like, man, how do they do all that all the time? But I think I'm just more of a small time girl.
Right. Well, and you do what works for you, right? In the moment, like we said, you can't compare, and it's what your goals are in your personal life, but also professional life, and they have to align. And I'll be honest with you, I had the same issue. I'd gone through several assistants, and I think a lot of times it's finding that right fit.
Right.
Because I believe the same thing. I'm like, I'll just do it myself because it seems to take this person forever. It's something that I could do in 20 minutes. But I finally found the right fit that was in front of my face. It was actually my best friend. And now I have Paige, she's trained, and she's probably going to watch the replay. So I won't brag on her too much, but she does things better than I do now. So
it's going to be asking for a raise if you say too much.
I know I can't brag on her too much because I know she edits these, so
Right.
she'll get a little bit of a bigger head.
Right.
But the reality is, it's really about finding the right fit. And I had to go through, oh my gosh, probably 5, 6 people until we found the right fit. So I think that's a big part of it. And then, like you said, learning to let go is always difficult, especially
Yes.
for some of us that are high D personalities.
Very, very high D.
That's sometimes difficult. So awesome. Well, and one other thing, as I mentioned earlier, that you've been with EXP, you've hit an icon status 2 years in a row, which is absolutely incredible. Which really puts you at the highest level. 3 years in a row. Oh my gosh. Sorry. 3 years in a row, which is even better, right? So, obviously you were comfortable at your previous brokerage and you loved your previous brokerage. What made you make that switch to EXP?
I love the freedom. I mean, freedom is the biggest thing for me. Freedom of time and place. So I can be where you are right now. I mean, you're working in a whole other country across the world from me, and that we could all do the same job, and we don't have to be, at the office. And I love that I can connect with people from everywhere. And again, I would just say the freedom of the time to be where I need to be, to do other things I want to do with my time, energy, and still provide a high level of service to my clients.
That's awesome. So you feel like the cloud-based brokerage has given you more freedom
Absolutely.
and time flexibility.
150%.
Yeah. I can't agree more because I came, from kind of the old-fashioned brick and mortar office, and I didn't realize how time-consuming the office environment actually was, and I'm a lot more efficient now. So I think
there's a place for everybody. I mean,
right, 100%.
For other people. I mean, I'm a self-motivator. I can work on my own from anywhere. And I love that. I mean, I love that I can jump on this call with you and then I can go meet a client real quick. I don't have to go to the office to, pick anything up. I mean, I have everything I need to run my business.
That's awesome. I love that. So, obviously you've done extremely well in both, the agent side and the investing side. And, you're an amazing mom and amazing wife. And I love seeing all your family photos and everything. So what are some of your goals the next 5 years? I mean, where are we going to see Alysia?
Retired when my kids make it to the league. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what all the basketball games
we have a long way to go for that. 5 years and 10 years really is finding that balance again. We want to invest more. We want to get into some bigger projects, apartments, stuff like that. A little more. We still love flipping. I don't see that going away anytime soon for us. Maybe building a little bit smaller team, kind of getting those processes and things lined out for me. Traveling with the kids for multiple sports. So I think we're just kind of cruising along right now. I mean, I would love to get like a lake house or a vacation home. Not sure where. I'm not really sure if I really want to do that. I want to see other places too. So
you could get an investment, short-term rental.
Right. But really for the kids, just being comfortable. I would say that's pretty much it. The traveling with them, going to see our friends in other states that we've really, really, really liked. I've actually thought about getting my license in a couple other states that I want to spend time in. So we'll see.
Any states in the particular states in mind?
Not yet.
Not yet. We need to come visit Puerto Rico. I think we would like it.
I think I would. Yes, it looks beautiful there. I mean, Israel looks beautiful too. So.
Oh yeah, it's hot right now though. I'm ready to go back to the island
here too. So
that's true. That's true.
Oh, and I should say my 5-year goal too is to finish my freaking house. Finish remodeling my personal house, not somebody else's.
I was going to say, isn't that the way it normally goes? Is you do all the projects before your own personal home? So.
Yes.
Yeah, I can relate to that too.
And then I changed my mind because we do something cool in another house, another project, and then I want to do that here. So I want to rip something out and redo it. So
we're ripping the bathroom out. We're going to redo it.
Right, literally. Yes.
That's too funny. Well, that's awesome. Well, I really, really appreciate your time today. I mean, this is a lot of great information, and I love seeing your journey. I love seeing how great you guys have done. And honestly, I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Well, thanks. It was nice talking to you guys.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.